Red alert status over Luzon. Every year, we have heard of the Luzon power grid being put under yellow and red alert levels. What do they mean? Why should Filipinos be concerned? The power supply and demand levels in a grid are constantly measured by grid operators. When the operator puts the grid under yellow alert, it means that the power supply falls under the reserve requirements. A red alert status means that available reserves fell further to critically low levels, increasing the likelihood of rotational blackouts. In February 2022, the Institute for Climate and Sustainable Cities, or ICSC, released a report entitled Luzon Power Outlook, determining the adequacy of power supply for April to June 2022, which warned of an electricity shortfall across the Luzon grid during the second quarter of the year if frequent outages were not addressed. The Philippine grid is dominated by large centralized power plants. Unplanned plant outages can significantly affect power supply sufficiency, dropping below reserve requirements. In July 2022, 5 coal and gas plants went on unplanned shutdowns, with 1 coal plant operating below capacity. These outages led the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, or NGCP, to trigger a yellow alert status in Luzon. This was not an isolated incident. Several alerts have occurred throughout the year. Another example was in September 2022. 7 coal power plants experienced forced outages, and 3 plants operated below capacity, placing the Luzon grid under yellow and red alert levels. In both instances, the shutdown of the Ilihan Natural Gas Power Plant in Batangas, one of the biggest plants in the country, further aggravated the power supply deficiency due to gas supply restrictions from the Malampaya gas field, whose contract with Ilihan ended in June 2022, and its power reserves are nearing depletion. These situations highlight how the country's power supply is easily crippled by a few centralized power plants. The prolonging issues in the country's power sector, resulting in rotating brownouts and rising electricity prices, will continue to affect the daily lives of Filipinos. This makes the shift to renewables, anchored on flexible and distributed generation, all the more urgent in order to have more affordable, reliable, and secure power in the Philippines.